Hello, all my loved ones. Today we got a beautiful day for you. Today we have an interview slash we have the beautiful Miss Marlene Motivate's gonna be here, and she's gonna speak on a beautiful topic, and hopefully that topic can help you out. But why? While we waiting to get the show started and get some of you people up in here, sit back and enjoy. And if you're watching the replay, do not forget to skip past this and get straight to the show. Hey, Geechee, peace to you. Peace to you, my brother. Hey, Tommy. Yes, sisters come together. That's what we do. Especially over here, that's what we do. Wait for my sister Marlene to come on up in here. Hey, Ewan, what's up, my sister? We waiting for y'all to come on in, enjoy the music, chat with each other.
Hey, can you hear me? Okay, I just turned my volume up.
Hello, sis.
Hey.
I am so happy you took time out of your day today to come in here. And uh oh, she'll be back. She's got to connect the devices. Sometimes that happens. She coming, guys. She coming. All right, we
Yep, we're
back.
back.
So how are you doing today, sis?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I am doing fine. We're gonna give it like another like 2 minutes so people could come on up in here.
Sure. I
And
shared you out already on my community tab.
oh, thank you, sweetie. So I know with you is gonna be good. I know with you is gonna be good. And I'm going to turn everything over to you in 2 minutes. And did you have anything that you want like to you need for me to share or slide, or you want to just be talking?
No, we can just freestyle and talk, and that's what I'm here for.
Oh no, today is your show. Is your topic? Is your show, sis? I thought when you need me, I'll say something.
No, you interject anytime you want to.
Um, that's only if it's needed because like I said, you're good at what you do, and I know that the topic that you picked, I know for a fact, I get what you're saying. All right, we got one more. Hey, Kev. Hey, Chance. Hey, Love. Don't forget to hit that like as you come on in, as you come on in. And at the end, if she likes to, she'll answer questions.
Sure.
Make sure you keep the, y'all better keep it respectable. Okay, we don't stand alone. We stand in unison, power in numbers. Yes, yes, that's right. That's right. That's right. So, today's topic is. Go ahead, Marlene.
Okay.
Today's
so to,
topic is.
so today's topic is why most women don't trust men.
Okay. I don't know how to do this thing for nothing. When you
What you
change
trying
up,
to do, sis?
I'm trying to change the thing about it. I don't know how to do it.
Uh,
When it's just when you speak and I make your face big and
yeah, I know. I think it's something with the layout. You have to choose. There's different ones. I think it's the one on the end where
yeah,
you.
but um, mm, th- I can make myself big. I can't make. Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah. The other ones it doesn't work for me. Yeah, that that part it doesn't work for me.
oh.
But it's okay. One of these days it'll work. I'm gonna leave it this way then. All right, so we're gonna start with why women are scared of men.
Mhm.
Sister, the floor is yours. You can start by introducing yourself, your channel, what you're about, and then let's get straight into the topic.
Sure. Well, first off, I gotta say thank you so much, Sugar Love, for inviting me to your channel and to your show. We've been down from the very beginning. I think it's almost 4 years now.
You're
We've
the
been
first
supporting.
person I meant to tell you. You are on this new series that we're doing, moving forward and elevating. You are the first person I thought to do this with. I meant to tell you, you are the first one. Yes.
Yay!
So she is kicking this off with the motivation, the elevation, with the inspiring. I thought of no other person that can. I mean, other people, but no other person that who can kick this off right. And hopefully, you guys can get something out of this topic. And when she said why men are scared of women, just let's hear her out, okay? Let's hear her out. All right. I just had to say that. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead, sis.
It's all good. So the topic that I want to talk about is why most women don't trust men. And usually this just starts off by, trust is about believing in someone else, believing in their character, their ability. You feel safe around them. And when you don't have trust in somebody, you can't move forward. It's like you're held hostage, you're standing still, and you think everybody who comes after somebody who hurt you, you put all men in the same category. So I'm going to first start off by introducing myself, which I didn't do. So I'm Marlene. I'm the content creator for Marlene Motivates. And on my channel, I talk about positivity, motivation, life lessons. I do story times over there. But yeah, I'm all about empowering people to make changes because I know coming from the place that I came from, I grew up in a very negative environment, where I was never taught to believe in myself. It was always just about, just surviving, but nothing about being happy, being secure, um, being okay with yourself and knowing how to move forward. And I am a firm believer in getting therapy because therapy changed my entire life. So, with that being said, let's start talking about this topic. So, the reason why I wanted to talk about why most women don't trust men is because I do some counseling on the side too with other young women. And if you don't fix how you think about things, you're going to go through your whole life angry, mean, and nasty. Ask me how I know, because that used to be me. I was that woman who was always nasty and bitter and angry with the whole world. And I had to get some therapy to get through these issues to find out why was I this way. Because yeah, you can blame other men, but really at the core, what are you willing to do to go inside of yourself and find out, okay, yeah, they did that, but also what did I do? Okay. So let's get into this topic. Um, so most of the time when we talk about, women not trusting men, the first thing that usually has happened why a woman doesn't trust a man is because they came from a long history of probably childhood trauma. Most of us, especially in the Black community, we had a lot of traumatic events happen to us as children, and it was never talked about. Those issues are kind of put a lid on it, hide it. You don't talk about it. It's to be hushed, and don't even talk about getting counseling in the Black community. That's like a no-no. You have to always act like everything is okay in your home when most of us have had some pretty deep and dark childhood traumas. And if you don't deal with that as a little girl and deal with your inner child, you bring all of those traumas into your future relationships. And for most of us, we have had to deal with some abandonment issues because most of us, girls, you weren't raised in a home with a mother and a father present. So you started off from your childhood with these abandonment issues. So you already are saying to yourself, men, when they show up in my life, they're going to leave me or they're going to abuse me. And that's a trauma that if you don't deal with, sometimes unknowingly we go into our future relationship and you start choosing people based on what you had as a child. Okay, so I I had to say to myself, why do I act the way that I acted? And it's because of my childhood traumas. It's the things that I went through in my life. And I had to get some healing because a lot of times we think that things are normal and that's what everybody goes through. And it's not normal. It's not normal. That may be normally what happened to you, but you got to find a way to resolve it so that you can get some peace. And I know that some of us, they grew up without a father. You felt abandoned, or some of you dealt with abuse if your father was present. And if you don't heal that, you're going to go and look for relationships where you get walked out on or you get abused because in your mind, that's what love looks like based on what you have gone through in your life. So let's also talk about, um, let's see, let's talk about healing from these traumas. Most of the time, that's why we can't trust these men, is because we are dealing with the abuse, the abandonment. And if you don't find a way to treat that untreated pain, you become angry, you're bitter, you attack other people. You also have a lot of low self-esteem issues. And I don't want to say, that word where people, take themselves out, but that was one of the cases that happened to me because I was always putting like everything, uh, trying to hide from my pain, not talking about it, getting angry about it, blaming every man that comes around, putting a label and saying all men are no good because of what happened to me. And until you fix and heal from the pain of issues that happened to you in your childhood or in your present relationships, you're going to keep having a cycle of those same type of relationships, that you're going to keep choosing the same bad men. So we have to learn to heal from our pain and heal from our own issues as well, because you can't go into any healthy relationship if you are always constantly in this dark space and just think that this is normal. And that's where I was in my life. I thought that it was normal to be walked out. It was normal to see a man hit a woman. That's what I thought love looked like. And that's not true. We see things in our life, and unknowingly, we think that that's okay. That's what happened to my mom or my auntie or this person in our life. And then we think that's the standard of love for a woman. And it goes into not having trust with men. So another reason why we have these trust issues with men is, let's tell the truth. A lot of them, they tell lots of lies. They lie, or they tell some half truths. So I don't know if now Sugar Love wants to interject anything or say something that she has an opinion about.
Girl, I was sitting here taking lessons.
Oh, okay. You want me to keep going, or you have
Yeah,
something you want to say?
I could come in towards the end because I know you have everything detailed to T. You got, so I don't want to throw nothing off because the people are really into this. So I'll
Okay.
come in towards the end, and we can go back and forth if I have experience or something like that. I don't.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Sure.
I'll be typing in the chat.
Okay. Okay. So, yeah, like I was saying, I was speaking about how it's so important to heal from these painful situations and these painful issues. And most of the time, you experience a trauma, you didn't talk about it, you kept it secret. And then when you finally do get old enough to get into a relationship as a woman, you know, a man shows up and they lie to you, or they tell you half truths. So you already have kind of your own thoughts about already how a man shows up. And then when they actually do something wrong, like lie to you, you're like, yeah, see, I knew it was going to be that way. It's like you're already setting up everything to fail. If you go into a relationship and you think that that person is going to do X, Y, and Z, and you're telling them they're going to do X, Y, and Z, most of the time, then that's what they'll give you, because you're going to get back most of the time what you put out there in the atmosphere. I'm not saying that, you can't control what another man does, but what is the most important thing is that we got to understand that what is healthy and what is unhealthy. And most of us didn't grow up knowing that certain things is not right. It's not okay to put your hands on somebody. It's not okay to be cheated on. It's not okay to have somebody walk out your life. It's not okay to be abused. It's not okay to have somebody lie to you. And when you don't know that, most of us as young girls, when we showed up in this world, how our mother was, how your auntie, your grandmother, whatever matriarch, any maternal figures in your life, how they were in relationships, how did they treat men? That is how you think how your relationship should go. And we don't always say it. It's kind of one of those things that you just do, by rote. It's just a normal way of thinking that some things that is very toxic, very dark behavior, that we normalized it, and we make it seem like this is how love should look like. and it's not healthy, it's not normal, and it's toxic. And then the next thing you know, then you have children, and it's another generation of a cycle of pain, abuse, secrets, and lies. So the question that we have to ask ourselves is, what relationships what relationships did the older women around you have? And you have to give yourself the permission to heal from that. And I know that it's easier said than done, because when you've been through some trauma, when you've been through pain in your life, when someone has hurt you, or when someone has abandoned you, like a father or a child, your baby's father, or other men, and lied to you and cheated on you, you have all of these, what could I say, like, can't think of the word, but you have all of these things that you have already, like the strikes against a man before he even shows up, because of what you have already been through. So that's why it's very important for you to give yourself some time to heal from your life. And that's why I say all the time, it's important to take breaks, especially after you've been through something traumatic. You had a horrible, abusive relationship, or if you are trying to cope and deal with what happened to you as a child. I speak about this all the time on my channel, about talking about healing your inner child. So if you don't deal with the issues that you had as a child, whether you know it or not, it shows up and becomes very present in your current relationship, because you have not allowed and healed and gave yourself time to think about it, and what is good and what is toxic. And I learned in therapy that it's very important to speak to your inner child, that little girl that's inside of you. I had to start telling the little girl inside of me, I had to say, Marlene, it's okay, because the adult Marlene is here. What happened to you in the past, that was when you were a child. You had no control over that situation. But right now, the adult me is here, and the adult me is going to protect you and to make sure that nothing like that will ever happen again. See, if you don't have those type of conversations with yourself, you have those trust issues. You're going to look at a man and say, I can't trust you, and this and that and that, and have all of these strikes against the man before they can even get a word out. You've already made your judgments. You've already told them how things are going to be. So it's important to face your past so that you can stand in your present or current relationship and be happy. See, most of the time as women, we are looking for someone to rescue us, and nobody can rescue us. See, I learned that in therapy as well, that you can't, a man is not supposed to be your savior. We as women look for a man to come and to be like that Superman, come and save you, and save your heart. But you got to fix your own self first. And I know it's hard. Sometimes you got to be mad. You got to scream. You have to let it out. But the thing that you should never do is remain silent and keep everything in. We're women. We go through a lot of things in our life, and we usually wear lots of hats as women. We play different roles, mother, grandmother, auntie, this person, that person, co-worker. But you can't show up and be a happy woman in a good and healthy relationship until you deal with your past. And I know it's not easy. It's not easy to admit what happened to you. It's not easy to say, I didn't like what happened. I feel sad when my father abandoned me. It hurt me when my baby's father cheated on me. But we gotta deal with our issues that we have had in the past in order for us to move forward and have healthy ones. And I get it. Most of the time, usually, and especially in the Black community, we are always taught like something is wrong with getting therapy, like you're weird, or you have a problem, or you have a label that something is off with you. But anything that is causing you pain, anything that caused you so much hurt, that was traumatic, you know, feelings of, of being abandoned as a child, um, seeing your parents being abused, being lied to, being cheated on. These are all traumatic things that can happen to us as women, and we have to learn to heal from it. And it's very okay for when you go through this, for you to have a time period where you stay by yourself, and then you can think about it and say, what happened to me? And also, what did I aid in that relationship? Because yes, a man may have done things, but also, what did you do to allow him to continue to do? Did you stay with him after you knew that this was toxic? Because let's be real, most of the time, us as women, we want the security of a man. We want to be in a relationship. We want somebody to love us. We want to have a healthy sexual relationship. But if it's not healthy, if it's toxic, if that man is using you, if he's abusing you, if he's beating you down verbally, all of that is not okay. And that's the reason why most of the time as women, we have these trust issues, is because we sugarcoat things and say, oh, he does this, or he does that. We only talk about the good things that he does, but the bad part of him, the toxic part of him, is way worse. And I want to talk to somebody. I don't know who it is, but I know that there's somebody that will hear this topic, and they need to hear it. But if you're being abused, if somebody is putting their hands on you, that's not okay. And they're always going to make excuses and tell you, baby, I'm going to change, or it was your fault because you made me mad. But they never assume the responsibility for themselves. But don't think that it's ever going to change. Once somebody puts their hands on you, it will never change. That's toxic, wrong behavior, and they need help. They need help, and it's nothing wrong with you. Most of the time, as women, we blame ourselves because of what happens to us. That's just the nature of a woman. We assume, oh, what did I do? What did I do wrong? And you did nothing wrong. And we got to heal from that and say, I'm okay and I deserve better. And I think a lot of times as women, we do a lot of settling in relationships. We settle and we settle and we think this is all I can get. And this is how my mom used to be. This is how my grandma was. This is how my best friend is. This is how coworkers on my job. Just because somebody else has a relationship, it doesn't mean that's the right relationship for you. Everybody has different wants and needs and desires, and they're trying to move forward in different directions. So you got to have your own relationship. You have to have your own relationship. You got to know who you are. And that means going inside of yourself and fixing and healing so that you can have peace of mind. And peace is one of the most precious commodities that we have as women. And nobody has the right to take your peace of mind from you. Nobody has the right to abuse you, to talk down to you, to make you feel inferior. Somebody should always make you, like my mom would always say, if somebody does not add to your life, subtract them. And we think a lot of times that we can't live without a man. But since the beginning of time, women have been raising children and holding it down on their own. And it's not that we don't want a good man. Don't get me wrong in that. We want a good man, but if we have to sacrifice our self-worth, our self-esteem, our self-respect, especially if you have children looking up to you and they're looking at you and saying, oh, that's how love looks like. We have to protect our children. And at a certain point, you got to stand up and say, I'm not going to tolerate this because I want my children to see that mom is a good example of love, and that if I can't get a good, loving relationship, mom can do it by herself. And I just want to say that, some of the common signs of trust issues are picking fights, avoiding commitment, being secretive about your past, and assuming that people will hurt you or will do something to hurt you, and isolating yourself. So if you see some of those signs that you're around a man and it's causing this to happen, it's usually probably not a good relationship for you. It probably is a toxic relationship or a hurtful relationship, or going back to your past in your childhood. So, what are some of the things that we have to do? We have to get in a good headspace emotionally before we get with a man. See, sometimes as women, we get excited because we see somebody and they like us, and we're having a good sexual relationship, and we think that that's everything that we need. But as women, we need more. We need more than just the sexual relationship. You need someone who's going to give you emotional support, mental support, and if you are a person of faith, give you a good support spiritually. We need a man who's a good leader. And if you have to always take the lead in the relationship, most of the time it's not a good relationship for us. So we have to get in a good headspace and find out what we want and how do we feel when we're with that man. That will show you if you're in a good, loving, healthy relationship. You should feel safe, protected. You should feel understood and heard. And especially, I say that you feel heard, especially when you don't agree on opinions, that you can agree to disagree without it being, you get, hands thrown on you and
Could
all
I
of that.
just ask you one question too that we have to realize too? Now, people come from like different cultures, different backgrounds, and a lot of times a lot of women are taught this is how it is, or this how it's supposed to be, and these are other like women or they look up to or elders that's telling them that, along like this is the woman's job, this is the man's job, what the man can. So a lot of times that's passed down too to now it's in our psyche that we think it's okay, but it's really abuse because a lot of people parents didn't know, but a lot of people from different cultures, I have seen it when the man and the woman work. The man gets to go out, especially our Caribbean people. The man go out, do him. That woman runs home from work, even though she put in the same many hours as him. Make sure by the time that man walk in the door, all he does is sit down,
Mhm.
right? And then his food is there. This the kid don't even have to deal with the kids, and the woman is still not allowed. So, like, how do you feel about that as being why, like, now their children have seen that, and you got some kids like that's not right. So, you got to teach. We have to tell them kids, trust your kids, trust your gut. That's not right. How do you feel about that?
I completely agree with us, and I think that we're actually controlled, by the entertainment world, and it tells us how we should think, how we um, should act, how we should look. Everything is controlled in society, but we have to understand that we have the power to change anything that we want to change. And I know that it's not an easy thing to change. Um, the thinking of the way you were raised. I was raised to think this is how a woman should act. And if a woman doesn't do this, then she's not a good woman. But after a while, when you get to be an adult, you have to merge forward and have courage. That's what courage is all about. Like I told my mother, because Sugar Love, but I don't know if the audience knows, I came from a Caribbean background. My parents were Jamaican. And my mother would be, coming home from work. Both of them worked an 8-hour shift. My mama had to stop and get groceries, cook, take care of the children. And my dad would just come home and he would either go sit in the living room while she cooked, or go in his room and read, or listen to sports radio. And I never used to be, I wasn't having it because, I've always been a girl, a woman to speak up, even from a childhood. But that was like a no. My mom used to be like, no, a good woman, she cooks for her man and she does this for her man. And I never agreed with that, but because I didn't want to, you know, muddy the waters at home, I wanted it to be like a peaceful environment. I would just let my mom say what she wanted to say, but I already knew that that wasn't going to work for me. But when I got older, I had to tell myself, yes, that's how you were raised, but it's okay to
Mhm.
think differently, and it's okay to step outside of the box and do what you want to do, because this is going to be
Mhm.
your home, and you can have different thoughts and beliefs than your upbringing, but it does take a lot of courage.
Yeah, I know that's what happens in a lot of Caribbean. I'm just saying Caribbean because we're Caribbean, but not. I'm not just talking about Caribbeans. I know that
Yeah.
so that's just I could just and it's so crazy. Both our experiences are the same. But I was like, I'm always been like, really, whatever.
Hmm.
I ain't doing nothing. I've always been that one. I was called some names at the age of 2. That I was called names because I was. It was like I was defiant. Just that I just I just never seen it right. And sometimes, trust your gut. Like she said, you gotta be brave. Like, no, this is not right. It's not. I know this is what I see every day. When you get older, some women too don't trust men because of that too. Because they got it's not right set in their heart that, like you said, they're gonna start thinking, well, this is how it is. So I'm just gonna stay single. I know I don't trust it because of their culture.
And most of the time, women, we have to learn more, that even if you have been through something in your past, because when I was growing up, I wasn't told that I love yous and you matter and you're worthy and you can do anything and you're strong. I wasn't told all of that. I was told that my role as a woman was only to cook and clean and to give my husband sexual pleasure, and that's not my role. I didn't receive that in my spirit. So I had to have different thinking, because me and my mom used to go toe to toe, because she would be like, what you mean he's in there cooking dinner? Or, what's wrong? Are you sick? I said, no, mom, you and I just have different opinions, and we just have to agree to disagree, because it would get really heated, because she thought one way and I think a different way. If it's different, if I've been home all day, I don't mind putting on the apron and cooking something, but he's not going to be home all day, and then when I walk in the door, he say, what are we going to eat? Mm-mm. That don't work for me.
And then too, now that is so much education now, I think like women need to really start getting into like learning like red flags and learning like these different things that our parents probably it wasn't no name for narcissism back in the days.
No.
All they said was that man crazy. You better leave that man alone. That man crazy. They said what they said, all the things about narcissism. It
Mm-hmm.
just wasn't a name for it. Like they said certain things about social paths, but it just wasn't a name for it. But grandma, they already defined it or whatever. But now that it's a name for it, I think that people need to start learning that. So that would save them a lot of problems too. So when they see certain things in the beginning, they won't. I mean, I think the best thing we got to go back to doing learn how to keep our legs closed, because
Yeah.
that takes away a lot of stuff when you don't have that component so fast, and it's easier to walk away. So if you feel like you're being pressured into somebody saying they love you so fast, if you're being pressured or into somebody just, oh, you so such and now let's go to bed, when you feel like anything that's love is not supposed to be pressured. And some women too may have been pressured too, so now when they meet other men, they're gonna still feel like, "Hey, this is all he want from me, this is all he want from me," and they may think he's crazy or narcissist with some of the things that you were saying already, you know but it's good that we do bring these things out, because some men don't understand that.
Yeah, and I had to learn for myself that it's okay to take a break. It's okay to take a break from a relationship and be single for a while, while you get your head and your mind right. because sometimes you go and you just jump from relationship to relationship just because you don't want to be by yourself. And there's nothing wrong with healing and saying, okay, I'm not going to do that anymore, or I didn't like X, Y, and Z, in this relationship. I'm going to make sure in my next relationship that I get this, because we have to learn and identify that most of us, while we were growing up, we weren't taught that it's important to have peace. It's important for a man to communicate how they feel, because most of the time as women we want to hear those certain words. I love you, you're important, I appreciate you, I'm grateful for you. And maybe a man doesn't want that, but it doesn't mean that you shouldn't get it because a man doesn't know how to give that. Just how you as a woman work on things, a man can work on those things as well. So I had to learn to stop making excuses for a man. Oh, they said it's hard for them, so it's okay. No, it's not. Because if you really need something in a relationship,
Mm-hmm.
then
That's
that's what
right.
you need.
Mm-hmm. Tell it, sis. Tell it. And a lot of things too, family secrets too, make people like really beware of men and scared of men. Either things happen to them or a family member, and now that kind of shakes you up when you had that uncle that did this or whoever who done that, either to you
Mhm.
or to a cousin or whatever. And a lot of that holds, it's like a lot of that, either they can either go the bad way and turn to the streets and really don't care because they so numb, or they can go like the other way of just you know the the hateration. Can I say that? YouTube? But they can really become come that way too. Depends on which way they go. So therapy is something that some people don't even know. That the craziest part is too. That's why I'm so glad we're having this conversation, because a lot of people don't know. They're not aware of these things about themselves.
Yeah. See, when I was growing up, I was never taught that as a woman, you have power and you have control. You have the power to say you like something, you have the power to say you don't like something, and you have the power to also say when a relationship is not serving you or fulfilling you, you have the right to walk away from it. I've stayed in relationship for a long time not knowing that I could do better. You just saying it because you think, okay, this is all I could get. This is, if they always say like they're a good man, but sometimes just being a good man is not enough. Does he fulfill you? Are you growing together? There's more, there's different levels in a relationship. Are you going to grow together, or is this going to be how it is? Is this the best that it's going to get? Yeah. And some women need more than just one thing.
Yeah, it's okay to be a little selfish, basically.
Yeah.
And it's okay. You're not hurting somebody by being a little bit selfish. And I always say, like, to people too, you know, don't even say the word you're single. It's like you don't have to like announce your status to like everybody. Just live your life and be comfortable with you, because sometimes too they see it as a shame. Like, I'm this age and I don't have nobody, and then some people was really happy, like travelers out, but why they're so happy? Because they've been through so much that to them being single is like a freedom card. And then you have the other side of people that's being single is like, especially depending on the family that you have or what you feel, but you can't get nobody. That becomes a burden on some people to, when you're single, when you're having a baby. Well, how long you gonna be single? You ain't find a man yet. People have to stop doing that too.
Yeah,
I
and people and family members and friends make it seem like it's a tragedy if you are not in a relationship. It's nothing wrong with being by yourself. And a lot of times we need to be by ourselves for a little while so that we can get ourselves together.
And
So oh, go ahead.
I just want to say, you know what? Sometimes it's okay. Because when I was young, I used to always look at older women, right? And the ones who, I'm sorry to say this, but the ones who held their head up the highest, and I seen like in my mind, I'm a little girl. I seen like a crown around their head, and they was all single, right? And they had, I mean, and I don't know why I could always tell because they had like this type of aura, like a queendom aura, like I have no problems, and they was old, but they walked around with the head. And I see all the people that had somebody, their head was always down. And when they walked, their
Mhm.
eyes are down, their head was down. They wasn't like, well, hello, they wasn't warming. But the single, but so it's okay too. Sometimes you're just not meant to have a partner. That's the point that I'm saying. And that's okay too. Because I seen older people who is just as happy, who live in their life, and they do a lot of community affairs. I mean, they live in their life to the fullest. A relationship, doesn't mean you don't have to have a relationship to have a life. That's the point that I'm saying.
Yeah. Yep. I agree with you 100%. And most of the time, other people, we have a problem as women, you know, feeling fulfilled. We feel like something is wrong. What's wrong with me? Why can't I find anybody? Or, like you said, it's nothing wrong with being single. Not everybody is meant to be in a committed relationship. Sometimes you thrive and you do much better, by yourself, doing you and being you, and just enjoying your life, because sometimes relationships complicate things. Not all the time. Sometimes you can have somebody that can help you to be stable and have peace, but a lot of times relationships can complicate your life. And I just want to talk about, some of the reasons why we talked about the reasons why women don't trust men, but also we have to find out, how do we get to the healing part of trusting men? And it starts with healing and forgiving our past, just like I said. And that healing and forgiving our past, it's not that you're excusing the wrongs that has happened to you in the past. That's what it used to be for me. I used to be so mad, and oh, I'm never going to forgive them because of what they did to me. But we have to understand that when we don't forgive people, they hold a power over us. They're controlling our peace. They're raising our blood pressure, and most of the time they could care less. They're not thinking about you. So you got to think about yourself, and you got to heal and forgive for yourself, because when you don't, it's like allowing the pain to hold you hostage in a prison of your own pain and anger. And we have to understand, as women, we deserve to be loved. You deserve to be loved. And if you really want to be in a healthy, committed relationship, take your time, heal and forgive, so that when you finally do get with somebody, you're not angry. You hear all the time, the women, oh, my ex did this and my ex did that, and this person did this to me. They haven't healed or forgiven, and that's not going to be a very nice environment for a man to want to be in, if he always feels like you're angry and you're mean. So you got to deal with your own self, and you got to take a break also from a relationship. And another thing that I want to say is, it's okay, ladies, to take your time when you meet somebody. You don't have to rush down the aisle. Get to know who you're with, become friends with them. And also, like you said, Sugar Love, we gotta, when we see red flags in a relationship, we gotta say that's a red flag and not pursue that relationship. We have to see that red flag and walk away. And also, remember to get some therapy. It's nothing wrong with getting some counseling and joining a support group of somebody who has been through something similar. Because when you have somebody who understands you, they've been through the same sort of thing, there's certain things that I would like to tell, like some of my friends and other people in my life, but they can't understand because they have not gone through it. But when you have somebody who has been through it in a support group, it will change your life. I can tell you from experience that support group has changed my entire life. And the last thing that I want to say is that we got to keep our eyes open. If you see something and you don't like it, you don't have to take it. We don't have to settle in relationships. Keep your eyes open.
Oh, girl, you know you be on the road. And also, too, don't let anybody dictate how you should be. Like we hearing now with a lot of these channels and stuff. No, you can't tell me how. Like, I'm not gonna tell you how to be a man. You're not gonna tell me how to be a woman. You're not
Mm-hmm.
gonna tell me how I'm supposed to act, how I'm supposed to dress, how I'm supposed to smell. Like, no. When we have to stop that. You are unique. You are you. I'm not Marlene. Marlene is not me. There is no one size fit all for women. So stop letting people put you in that circle or put you in that hole. Then you go around and change yourself. Then now you become miserable. Stop. That's what a lot of people, and that's what a lot of things that our grandparents didn't tell us. They never told us they were miserable. All we saw was that they were still with, granddad, or we seen people, and they never say, "Hey, I've been miserable. I never had a chance to live my life. I never had a chance to be me." And I see that they're bringing that back now, telling us, what we're supposed to do, and this is feminism, and this is this, and this is that. I think that's the most craziest thing, and a lot of women get hooked to that because they're thinking, "Oh, well, I'm gonna get like a high value man," or I'm gonna. No, you're gonna first work on you. Don't worry about what you're gonna get, and don't change yourself unless it's for the better. Change yourself for you. Don't change yourself because somebody gave you a rule book and told you this is what you are supposed to do. You're not supposed to do anything. You're supposed to be you. If you like looking at the clouds, look at the clouds. If you want to dress up nice, and don't have it to where as they have you so conditioned, because that's where a lot of mental abuse come in too, because being that they gave you all these rules, you can't talk back, you can't. That's like they give you a
Yeah.
whole they give you a whole rule book. I'm like, well, hold up.
Yep.
Go ahead, sis.
Yeah. And then what if you don't want to pursue what they have in those role books? It doesn't make you a bad woman. That's how I was conditioned growing up. That if you don't do this and you don't do that, you're not a good woman. You're not a good this. You're not a good. You wouldn't be a good wife. You're not a good mother. You're not this. You have to, at a certain point, decide and think for yourself. What do I like? What do I want to do? What
Hmm.
do I want to pursue outside of what my family thinks? And be your own person. And that does take courage. It takes courage to stand up. It takes courage to say, I was hurt, but now I choose to get some help, talk to somebody, and heal
Yeah.
from that situation so that I can be okay, even if you never get another relationship. But you got to learn to be okay with yourself.
And then once for people who do want a relationship, once you do all the things that she had on her list, you'd be amazed who you might find. You'd be amazed you might find the right person, but it'll work if you take the steps. If you don't take the steps, it's not going to work on your being and on their end neither, because they're conditioned too. Just like they
Yeah.
condition us, they're conditioned. So we have to make sure they're just as free as we are free.
Right.
Because
Right.
women are not the only ones conditioned. Men are conditioned too. So they come to you
Yeah.
with all this, like I said, this old road book that, like, would imagine if we came to them with the book. Like, That's like us saying, well, you know what? Well, back in the day, the house that the man got us is the house they built themselves. Are you going to build me? And I didn't say buy me a house. Are you going to build me a house? That's because that's a man's job. Remember, imagine if we came to them with all the things that men used to do back in the days, and if they
Mhm.
didn't fulfill this book or requirements and act a certain way, we don't want them.
Hmm. All I know is that I had to learn one day to stop being miserable because I was miserable. I was doing that. I was
Me
doing
too.
that.
Me too.
I was doing rushing home and get this and I got to get that and clean up the place. And then one day I was like, "What are you doing? What are you? What are you doing? No, we're not going to do this anymore." So if they don't want to stick around after you come into you claim your worth, you shouldn't be a doormat. That's the point that a lot of men say, oh, they're a good woman if they can be a doormat.
Mm-hmm.
Ladies, don't be a doormat to a man. And the same thing vice versa. Men don't be a doormat to women. It has to be both people have to be served in the relationship or it just
Oh
won't
no,
work.
no, not us. We just gotta look good, smell good, and then a lot of that too. That's why I said a lot of women, and I'm glad that we're able to tell the truth because our parents, depending on how old you are, and our grandparents, they weren't able. Hey, Chrissy, thank you so much, my baby. um a lot of them never told the truth. They never told us how they really felt. And
Mhm.
I think that was a disservice that they did because we grew up thinking that everything was happy go lucky, but it wasn't. And a lot of us didn't. But a lot of, when I say us, I don't mean necessarily me on this behalf, but a lot of us didn't realize that, until like the father passed away, when we had all these siblings, like when did this your brother, this your sister, and mama knew, all this time, like a lot of them got married just because she got pregnant. They didn't know each other. They didn't care about each other. They didn't even like each other. But because of the rules back in the days, you didn't want to have an astute child, that you had to get married. A lot of us never
Mhm.
realized that when our parents got married, they was pregnant. Or mom was already pregnant.
Well, that happened to my mother.
Hmm.
Yep, and my grandfather was like, you know how it is. The Caribbean people, they'll show up with a machete.
Yes,
Now, when you
ma'am.
get to the courthouse.
Well, it's good. I'm on both sides. So they had the machete, but the people down south, they came with the big pow, if you know what I mean. That's where they
Yep.
get the shotgun wedding from, which is true. But we never knew that, and they stayed together for so long. And Daddy really was out there with the woman that he really likes, he really wanted to be with. But back in the days, also, they didn't believe in if they was going to get a divorce. They didn't believe in that until the last child turned 18. They figured, I get all the kids out of
Yep.
school, then we can separate. Then now you want to break our hearts, and now we try to figure out what happened, not knowing. So I'm glad that we can be of service now, so
Hmm.
we can break that mold, because a lot of us was like really stunned, and then we expired to be like that. But grandma didn't never, mommy and grandma never told us, like, I don't like that man. And sometimes when they said it, they did say it, but we didn't believe them.
Yeah, like they'd be like, "Please get away! I can't wait until you leave." And
Uh-huh.
you'd be like, and we would all laugh, but she was
Uh-huh.
dead serious.
Exactly. Exactly. And then, because I told you, I always seen a light in certain women, and then I always seen no light in certain women. So that led
Mhm.
me to, I always ask questions. I'm an ask question type of person. And you don't have to tell it to me, but I always was able to read between the lines, by the way you give
Mhm.
me the answer. Because I was like, the same way I knew these women were single, I'm like, Dad, why you look like royalty, And I'm like, I expired. I didn't know I aspired to be lonely. I didn't know that was part of the aspiration. But I was, when you're younger, I didn't know the lonely part meant having nobody, but they were like, I'm single or whatever. When you're young, you're not putting that together. But in my mind, I want to be just like them, right? Because
Yeah.
it's just a light. And then
Yeah, and yeah, and what I don't like is that a lot of secrets that happen to us from our childhood is back in the day, you find out by the time you're grown that your mama is not your mama. Your mama is your sister,
yes,
or your grandmother is actually your auntie or something else. There's so much secrets and traumas that happen to
yeah, because
us.
grandma
Yeah.
took the baby if the daughter was young and said it was hers because she was probably still young, you know, make able to make babies herself. And that's that down south that's what they call it, that down south baby.
Hmm.
When you sent them away for the summer
Yeah.
and they came back and all of a sudden mama had the baby, but it's really her grandchild.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
everybody knows, or you grew up all along and you think that that's your sister, but it's actually your mama.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. And I mean, it's a lot of secrets too that really make us not trust men because we're once we find out that took place, it doesn't take away the fact that even if grandma did take the baby and it's hers, what the heck happened to the man? What
Hmm.
happened to the little boy? Like, did the boy ever come around? So you learn not to trust men either, because it's like I'm left here. I'm thinking my grandmother is my mother, and my sister is really my mother. Where's the man?
Hmm.
Like, did he ever? And it still leaves you with that same question. Did he ever think about me?
Yep. And they never had those conversations to say, me and your dad didn't work out, or you never even know the whole story, even when you're grown. They just don't want to talk about it. They just say, well, that's how it was. And that's all I have to say about that. I was like, what does that mean?
Or they want you to think they're so virtuous. They don't want to say, I was a thought too. I'm just saying. As I'm
Yeah.
using out, but yeah, grandma used to get down. It was a one nighter, and yeah, I got because they don't never want you to see them in that light, because at certain point in time they matured, so they want you to always see them in that maturity light. They don't want us to see them before or know about them before they matured, and that too caused like a bind. Like, we never wonder why like certain siblings and stuff didn't get along, and it's not because your aunt or something was terrible. It's just that your aunt really know your mama. And if your mama say the wrong thing, your aunt is going to sit there and blow her up. So in that case, that creates a division in the family. If you're trying to, the ones who try to fake the funk and act like they was all good, and then you
Hmm.
got the siblings that will tell it. And you
Yep.
you think your mama was all good, blah 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 blah.
Yep. I have that in my family. That's why my mom, I used to always say, Mom, Uncle is on the phone, but she knows. I used to always be like, what's wrong? I was like, Uncle is the sweetest. But I found out later that he knew everything that my mom was doing back in the day. And she didn't want us to get close to him so that we wouldn't find out what he knew.
hmm
Hmm.
And but if they would have said, "Hey, I made a mistake. I was young and dumb." Like I said, they kept so many things from us that we didn't know. But now we don't know what's normal. We don't. We didn't know what's normal. Once the truth start coming out, we don't know what's normal no more. Like, okay,
Hmm.
so this wasn't normal. This was a lie. This was like everything is a lie, but it still doesn't take away where are the men? Like, if
Yeah.
the women still had to raise these children or whatever, or they had to stay with men that they didn't love, they didn't like, and men had to stay. I mean that's like when we call men cheaters, and we got to realize, it's not like he cheated on mom. We may grow up not liking them, but we didn't realize they didn't like each other. They
They were
didn't know
they
each
were
other.
forced together.
Right. But being that for a woman, you can't go out there and do what a man does. So she decided to stay home with the kids, and he decided to be with the woman who he truly loved. That's not his fault, but a lot of girls and young boys grow up not liking their fathers, not knowing that that was a force. They was forced to be. They don't like each. They don't like they don't like each other. You know,
Yeah.
but if they would tell us this back now, these days, we always, people trying to push the marriage thing and everything. But now we seeing like they was talking about like Rihanna, and they like with two babies but still no ring. They trying to push that again. But what would you do as a billionaire? If
Well, I
you,
I feel the same way. Let people do what they want to. People just always try to control how another person thinks and feels. Let them do them. Most of the time, if a woman is most of the time by herself raising a child, or she's happy in a relationship with somebody and she's pregnant, let them be happy. Just marriage does not equal happiness. Just because you're married doesn't make mean you're going to be happy. But it's just that some people were forced into marriages because that's what their culture is, and that's what their family said. That's what you should be doing.
yeah, and then they push that to us, and that's. I'm sorry they had to go through that, but when you push that to us, that's where I separated from a lot of family members. A lot of them don't even realize that. They always, when you coming over, when you do that, mm-mm. And I gotta. I said the fact that I gotta let it go. I did let it go. I just really, it's not even a part of my thought. But I have to, you know, be a little nicer. But I didn't like all the stuff that was pushed on me because I'm not changed. I'm going. No, I'm not. I'm just. I'm. It's not going to happen. And I was always different.
Yeah.
I was always different. So I kind of, yeah, I lived that life. I knew I always could smell like if something was fake or whatever. It used to just get me sick. So once I got a certain age, I just left all of that alone because they just kept pushing it, and pushing it, and
Hmm.
it made you feel bad about every little thing, everything you could think of before you could do it. You felt bad about it, like
Yeah.
every
They
decision.
made you feel like everything was a sin.
Yeah, or everything is bad, or you're not good enough. Like
Hmm.
you're not good enough if you're not that lawyer, if you're not that doctor, or if you don't if you're not doing certain in a profession that they never had a chance to do, you're the failure. And I want to say no, you're the failure right along with me, but you don't want to be. I don't play with disrespect. I never. I just the things I said in my mind. I don't know if they can hear, but I see that a lot because some people are artistic. Some, I don't mean slow. I mean like far as like musically and doing arts. People are artistic. Some people like is like to do poetry. There's like so many plethora of things. Some people wanted to. So you know how many black people could have had their own business if their family believed in them.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
had so many ideas that was crushed because they wanted
Mhm.
you to be the lawyer or the doctor. They
Yeah.
wanted you. They picked your profession.
Yeah. That happened in my very own family. You had to be this or that, or they weren't going to help you financially. You were going to have to get out. They were only going to help you if you pursued what they wanted you to become. And
Hmm.
I'm so glad that cycle has ended in our family, and we got people in our family that are pursuing things that never my parents and grandparents would never have accepted that. So it has to change when you decide to change it.
And you know what else is hard too, especially when you come from a family of majority women, right? And that a
Hmm.
lot too. It's not even just, and you brought that up earlier. I want to go back to that. When you brought up with a family that's predominantly women, that's the head, and then the area that you grow up in, right? Well, and I'm like, how it's like it's a lot to learn how, like all this feminine crap they talk. I'm like, no, we're not from, like we don't that's not in our vocabulary. To be women is in our vocabulary. To be nurturing and caring may not be the way you want it to be, but we're very nurturing and very caring because we had to take care of everything. But some women, that's all they know, is how to take care of everything. So that, what they may call it masculine, doesn't matter, but that's all we know, is how to take control of stuff, how to hold things down. And then you have the neighborhood where you either you had to fight, you had to run, you had to things was going on where you didn't have no chance to sit back and paint your toenails and just look pretty all day, because you had things to do, especially like may not you because you're the baby, but can you imagine what your elder sibling would say? Like she would have to, or he would have to be like, I couldn't do this, I have to make sure my sibling was home. Like what is the difference between like you and your elder sibling? Because y'all lives, y'all
Yeah,
come from the same parent, but y'all have two totally different lives. Like
yeah.
what would be like the difference? Like what you think that she would say?
Well, I already can know is me and my sister are 25 years apart. When I was born, my sister was already married. So I, so she's always been like, not even like my sister. My sister has always been like an auntie because we didn't grow up together. So my sister would say that she had to take care of the younger ones, and I think that's one of the reasons why my sister hurried up and got married, because back
Mm,
then that's the only way that you could escape as a woman. You
yeah.
had to get married, and I don't think my sister chose the
Hmm.
the best
That
relationship.
always happens. Hmm.
Yeah. I don't think she chose the best relationship, but also my other siblings were like so surprised at how my parents evolved, as I would say, as they got older. I got the parents that were like grandparents because my all my siblings already was having children by the time I got to be grown. So I got treated like a grandchild.
And then your nieces and nephews was more like your siblings.
Yeah. Hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's amazing how, now I want to do another thing on that too. And I'm not even gonna go into that, but I want to do a thing on the another conversation on like the where you were born at. Because that plays a big difference in your life too.
Okay.
You
Sure.
know,
No
like
problem.
like if you're the oldest, like what does the oldest go through? What does like the middle child, the second child, the baby child? Like, because everyone come from the same household, but they got different parents. Because my children, they got they neither both of them they cannot tell you the same story of me.
Hmm.
One of me and one knew the other. So, and when they speak, when both of them speak, it's like they can't have a conversation about me because I'm two different people.
Right. Just like my oldest sister, she had my mom when she was 24 or 25, and my mom had me when she was 42.
So yeah, because I was like in my late 30s with my son.
Yeah.
So my daughter had the younger version of me, so she might not say some nice things about me, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then my son may feel like everything is on him because like now I'm older, this hurt, that hurt. So now he's the one that has to like help me out and pick up stuff and do
Yeah.
this and do that. So he may feel like I'm doing everything, and he that's gonna that sort of kind of I think cause a friction in them without them knowing, because she probably like she was never there, all she did was work, and then he got it, it's like, okay, she's home too much. She
Yeah.
don't do nothing. So it's really I don't like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I
Yeah.
try to explain to them, but they totally have two different people.
Yeah.
I'm literally two different people. So neither one, they, what are they going to say? Well, remember mom used to do that? No, they can't say that. They can't. They don't have really no stories together. Because she, by the time I had him, just like with you and your sister, like my daughter was almost 18, so she was already doing her. So they don't have no sibling time together.
Yeah. So they're not even like siblings.
Right. That's why I understood what you were saying.
Yep, because when my mom, my oldest sister, she always used to be upset with my mom because she had the mom that was still going out dancing and
Hmm.
partying.
Hmm. Hmm.
And I got the mom who was almost getting ready to start, she was already the grandmother.
And then the patience is different.
Hmm.
It's like I didn't have the patience with my daughter, but I had more fun with my daughter because I was much younger. I got more patience with my son, but don't have as much fun with him because I'm like, God is hurt. I'm not doing this. So like when me and my daughter, we was able to go places, travel, do this, do that. Now my son doesn't have that.
Yep. I can agree with that. I used to be like, why don't you want to do anything? You're so boring.
Yep.
Yeah, because I'm the 10th child.
By the time they got to you, they was tired.
I
They
was
were
like, when I
tired.
thought about that, I was like, I thought about that one day. I was like, I'm the 10th child. I got 9 siblings. Mm, yeah, that's a whole story for another day.
Yeah, that'd be really good because that too needs to be talked about because a lot of people don't know that that constructs your life too. Because not only do you have you, but it's all these different feelings. Then you get to see what your older siblings did and abuse the younger one, like me and you, the baby. So like a lot of things we didn't understand because it was like, we the baby, we the baby. But that's fun. I would have loved that. Yeah, that's coming up. We're gonna be doing a lot of things on here, and Marlene, she's more than welcome at any time. And you guys are also welcome because I know all of you guys are subscribed to her. You're always welcome to go to her channel because this is what her channel is about. She has good talks like this. She makes you think, even though she don't have people up there all the time, but she still reads your comments, so she makes you part of the
Well, I'm trying to
conversation.
change that, sugar love. I invite people, but they don't show up, so I stop inviting them.
Girl, you invite me anytime you want to.
Okay, I'm gonna start dropping that link. I'm say, you here? Come on up.
To hit me up on the thing, on the
Okay,
thing,
I
and
will.
so because it's good when we can feed off each other because there's so many people being that we have to be the ones to break the stereotypes because of what was done to us. It wasn't done maliciously to us, and it wasn't done, it's just what was done. It was like everything was like quiet as kept because that's just how it was done. you
Right.
know
That's just how it was.
yeah.
You
you know
can't change that. And I used to always get so jealous of my older siblings. Always got to, had to be so responsible. But we were always the free ones that we got to do whatever we wanted to do because I had the old parents and they're like, I don't care, do what you want.
no, my mother wasn't old, but what I didn't like was they were able to do stuff, but I couldn't unless she take me. And I hated
Yep.
having to depend on her. Like they was old enough that they wanted to go on trips, and I always had to like depending on what they mood was what my day would be. Because we wasn't old enough, so they had to take us either like
Yep.
on a trip or to a store. And it's like, if they was in a good mood, well, I ain't taking her nowhere. And I'm like, oh, now I gotta be stuck in the house, or I gotta just be like in the front. So we sometimes we was at their will and mercy.
Yep.
I did not like that. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, that's the only
I
thing I
didn't
hate
like
about
that. I
being a
always had to
baby.
take
Oh,
care of my parents, and I always tell my siblings it's not fair because you left and you escaped. But when you're younger,
yeah.
it's
Oh,
like
that's
they
another
they
girl.
give
That's
you.
another whole story.
Don't get me started on
That's
this
a
topic. We're gonna
that's
have to do
another
another one.
baby. That's another whole topic. And baby, do I that. Oh, I ain't gonna get into it, but that. Oh, people don't. Mm, mm, mm,
Ooh.
mm, 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 mm. But but it's like but they I mean, I used to be a very angry person about that, and not just with my sibling, but like with family members and stuff too, because like when we got left with the bag. Hold up. It's like
Mhm.
where is our help, like like where is it? Like, people don't understand when you're there every single day watching them decline. They don't know what that do to your psyche. And all you get
Yeah.
is a phone call and how they doing, what's going on. Don't oh, I don't want to talk about it no more. I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, we're gonna have to leave that for another topic because I got
Yes,
a
Lord,
lot to say about that.
because you're gonna get me heated up in here.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to listen when I well, Geechee, you could say so. You could say something in the chat. I'm glad you guys are enjoying this, and hopefully, this is going to grow. This is really going to grow, and I'm going to have other people on here too. But don't forget, this is what her channel is about, and you hear how sweet and lovely she is. I just wanted you guys to see her. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull her channel up for you guys, okay? So you can see the type of topics. You got to drop. You're gonna have to drop your link in there for me, sister, if you don't mind. The
Okay.
one for the channel that you want me to. I mean, you could drop them
Well,
all in
well,
there. Whatever you
well,
want to do is up to you, but just one at a time, so I can let them see
okay.
your
So
topics and
the
stuff like that.
Marlene motivates is where I talk about the inspiration, but my podcast channel is where I talk about the heavy, deep topics.
No, you can drop both.
Okay.
But drop one. I'm gonna show one at a time. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Let me do
You
that.
if you
Hold
you
on.
could. This is your time for pure promotion because we have to support you. You know.
Thank you so
I'm all
much.
about support. I had people do everything for us: cook, clean, wash our clothes, take us out, and I was privileged, but was tired of those people at times. Even even if I was rich and people was able to do it, I would still micromanage everything. I am terrible. I am
Wow.
terrible. Yes, I drive myself crazy. Even when somebody come to fix something and that's their job and they know what they're doing, I'm still watching them. And I'm like, nah,
Mhm.
that ain't right. They be like, how you know? I'm like, I don't know, but something. Miss, can you leave? Go, bye. I hear that all the time. I'm like, nope, nope.
Yep.
Listen, we all have our bad little habits. That's just one of mine. I micromanage everything. And
Well,
sometimes you
do you,
think
I
I'm
think
not
it's
looking.
because you're the youngest child.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you think so?
Because I'm that way. I'm very much a manager, micromanager, because most of the time when you're younger, you didn't get to control anything. So when you get to be older, you want all the control.
That could be, sis.
Mm-hmm.
That could be. And then I had a lot of exes. Well, I always had was good with my exes until they woke up that sleeping lion. Because no, because for me, I've seen so much dysfunction growing up, right? And like I said, I always went the opposite way because of what I've seen. And a lot of stuff that I've seen, I promised a lot of things that I didn't like, I promised myself what I'm not going to go through. Even I may have went through it because I didn't know, about the Prince Charming stage and all them different stages, and I got sucked into it. But but I've seen the arguing, I've seen the fighting, I've seen the
Mm-hmm.
people talking nasty to each other. So I already had a list of what you're not, because I don't know. I used to wonder who hurt more, me or them. I would think that they would be the one. I'm the one hurting. I'm the one hurting for them. So every time they got into it, any family member or whatever, I felt like it was me and I'm the one hurting and stuff. I'm like, I'm feeling on this hurt. That's y'all argument or y'all fight. But I always said, I never, even though it was happening to them, I said, I don't never want to feel this. I never, want to go through this. And that kind of shell shock you too. And it really
Yes.
makes you do not want to trust men also, because you got shell shocked by a lot of things that happen around you.
Yeah. And being the youngest, I don't know if it happened in your family, but it's like your opinions never mattered. So that's not going to work. That's why you get, when you get older and you get your own relationship, you become, I wouldn't say bossy, but you try to make sure you control things, that it's the way you want it to be. And when it's not, it's going to be a big problem.
Oh, that's what it is. You're not. I gotta make you a mod on here. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
That's why it's so many of you. You know, we can't keep up.
Yes.
This one is not the other. May Marlene is, but not Mrs. Not the Shannon show. So that's why we
Okay.
put it in. It didn't come up. But
Okay. You
let
want
me
me to
make.
remove them?
No, no, no. You can't. I put it up there. I mean, I made your mod.
Okay. I'll drop it again.
No, you don't have to. It's there now. You see it?
Oh, okay.
No, it's not your link.
Yes, it is.
That's not a link. It says I don't. Let me
I'm
see.
gonna drop it again. It's okay.
Okay, yeah, do that because now you in blue.
Okay. So I'm gonna put
Is there
this.
any more you? I have to look out. No, I'm joking. But but you know what I tell people all the time. That's what makes you my one of my inspirations because I got four now.
Good.
Okay, the link is there now. The link is there now because she's in. Oh, Edwin is not in blue neither because I don't think Edwin been here. Okay, let me make her blue. Okay, now you good to
Okay.
go, sister. Okay, now the link is in. Okay, so this would be, you want me to do the podcast first, right? So we're going to
Yes.
do the podcast first, right? And I want you guys, oh, we got to get these subscribers up. But I
Yep.
want Cav is going to go into podcasting and hopefully y'all can speak behind the scenes because he gonna do his different things. I didn't know you could do the podcasting thing on the YouTube. I thought it was something separate. You're gonna have to explain that. But
Yep. You sure
pull it up.
can.
Let me pull that up. This is the Marlene Sanders show, guys. Let's check it out. Can you guys see?
I see it now.
Okay, so that will be under videos or live. Is that live when you do it?
Yep.
Okay, we're gonna go under live, right? And then some of her topics are, um, do men expect too much from women? She has one coming up. Red flags in a relationship. Tell us, oh girl, you got to make sure I'm there. You got to make sure I am there for the
Okay.
red flags, girl. And
Mm.
what we were saying, who has family secrets?
Mhm.
If you find out it's not your child, girl, I'll be so happy. I love them, but I will find their real parents real quick. Real quick. I'll, I'll love like,
Yeah, that's
I
right.
still love you though. Now, 3 months ago, she started prison to prosperous. I got a 105 year sentence. Okay, love yourself more. That would be, let's check out her love yourself more. Okay, guys, let's see her in action. Action. Look at how beautiful she is, and she's worthy. And that shirt and that hand, everything.
Show and podcast. Welcome. Today, I'm just coming in to do a topic, and today's topic is love yourself more. The reason why I wanted to do this topic about loving yourself more, I see so much out there in society these days, how people treat themselves, and they don't treat themselves the way that they should. And it comes from these 5 things that I want to talk to you about today. Most people don't love themselves enough. They need to learn to love themselves more. But the question is, how do you love yourself more? Well, the number one thing is that we have to start with forgiveness. How is forgiveness linked with love? It's very important and it's very relevant, because if you can't forgive yourself from the things that you've done in the past or the things that other people have done to you can't allow love to filter into yourself, and you're not able to accomplish certain goals and able to do certain things. See, we have to forgive ourselves. We have to forgive other people and heal so that we can love ourselves and we can be where we need to
Oh,
be.
let me
So
subscribe to
forgiveness
this
is the
channel.
key. And with that forgiveness, it goes into the next point about healing. If you don't forgive yourself, you can't heal. How can you heal from something? It's like years and years of trauma and traumatic things that happened to you, and hurt, and all of the expectations postponed, the things that you wanted to.
Hold up. I know y'all loving this, right? Y'all loving this, aren't you? But if y'all want to see the rest, right, I'm going to push subscribe right now, as you see. Then I'm going to hit the bell. That's what y'all going to do. Then you're going to click all, right? If y'all want to see the rest of this, you're going to have to go on over there and check out Marlene Sanders' show. And like I said, I showed you guys the content that she covers. So let's look at the content again that she covers. So you can go and you can watch any, wherever you feel like in toxic relationships, narcissists and gaslighters. Girl, you should have had me on that one too.
Mm-hmm.
That's
I'll do
how
a
I
topic
answer.
again. Don't worry.
Oh
I can
Lord.
cover it again.
All right. And then, oh, that is beautiful. But again, guys, these are great topics. Boyfriend, girlfriend responsible financially for my kids. For me, absolutely not. For me, absolutely not. Anything you do for my child will just be a bonus. That's just how I am. A lot of men, well, they're yours. They no, because they have a father, and even if their father, I'm not saying mines are no good. Even if they're no good, my beef is with that no good man. No, it's not you. But thank you for being there. Thank you for loving mine. But I don't never think I never want to give you make you feel that you're gonna say what you want to my kids. I never want to give you a chance because you do something for them. Now, if you could like help them, you can advise them, but some men take it overboard and they really think, no, I don't want them problems, right? But my son don't have to worry about it. But anyway, and my daughter's grown. But we must stop enabling. Oh, beautiful. She did
Oh,
something
you should
on
have
the
seen
show.
the one. You should have been there when I did that one. Go up a little bit.
Go up or down?
Maybe
Did
it's
I
down.
pass it?
Right there,
Uh-huh.
where it says, "Can you make a hoe a wife or a husband?"
Oh, yes, you can, but not a husband. Yeah, you could. Now you could. Also, it's someone. Yes, you could. Yes, you could, baby.
Mhm.
You just gotta make sure you was slinging it. Cause just because somebody was a pastor, that didn't mean she got some good stuff. You got to give her that good. She could have had a bunch of penny minis, picky minis. She could have had a bunch of mini me's, little toothpicks. If you got
Mhm.
what you're supposed to have to conquer that JJ, daggett, she is now a wife. Work that middle, work the middle, do what you got to do now. She will be a wife, but you got to satisfy. Because people think because like you was in that business, people don't understand. She's not being made love to. She's being
Mhm.
effed.
Yeah.
And people,
There's a difference between a sex and making love.
right. So they think, oh no, you can't. Yeah, you could because she doesn't know what feeling love feel like. She may run from it for a little bit, but when you're making love to a woman, that's different from you gotta remember a lot of them acts, if they do, don't last long. And they give you a amount of time depending on how much you pay. So you might get 10
Mhm.
minutes, you might get 15 minutes. Some places, as long as you may, and some men can't go a half an hour or an hour anyway.
Yeah.
So ain't no need to pay for a whole hour when they're not paying for you to go down then get back up. It's like once you get up, that's it. Once you go down, you got to go. No, we're not waiting for round. No, there you got to pay for round two. You know what I mean? So, so and a lot of men. So people confuse that they used to having that. No, it's like 10, 15 minutes of wasted life they had. They wasted their life for 10, 15 minutes. Bring them life on, now some men probably say you can't do it because of all the weenies or eggplants that were in you. And I can understand that, but it's not like you can't become a wife. You just can't accept the fact that a lot of eggplants was in there, but that'd be mainly the thing.
That
But,
part. Mhm.
yeah. But and again, my family was dysfunctional. Oh, I love that side picture you have. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, I ate myself.
Mhm.
What happens when you're not persistent? Be a happier person. Nope, 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 nope. I had zero self esteem. Do we teach the children the old fashioned way? Yes and no. Yes and no. Things mama used to say. Take your time, young man. Mama used to say, don't you rush to get old. Yeah, now I gotta put a song in there. I handle toxic people, emotional, mental, and physical effect. And then, like I said, check if y'all want to see more of this good stuff, check out her podcast, interviews, and topics. Check my sister out. Right? And now, did you drop the other link, sis?
I did. I can drop it again
No, no, no. I'm
if
not
you don't
in.
see it.
No, no, I'm not in there. I'm where you at. I'm in
Oh,
yours
okay.
right now. I'm going to go into the thing and click it. Okay, let me
Okay.
click this off. Now let me go. Okay, now. Oh, she said, "Saying it, sis." All right. Oh, I thought. What the heck did I click off? Then okay, I did click it off. Okay, you're gonna have to drop it again, love. Well, hold on. Let me go
Okay.
up.
I just did.
No, I got it. Molly motivates. This is the other one, which is also beautiful. Okay, dag it. I got glasses and still can't see. That's terrible. I'm still blind with glasses. Ay, ay,
Well, same thing. Same over here. Mhm.
ay. I'm still like, where with the glasses on? Do you lose your glasses on top of your head too?
All the time.
What am I doing?
You shared the I think you went back you shared the screen where you are. You're not sharing
I
Marlene
told you I
Motivate.
can't see with the glasses on, dag it.
Mm, mm, mm.
I make
Woo.
I don't even see the oh. I'm telling y'all make myself laugh. I tell you.
You better laugh at yourself or you'll be very unhappy.
Oh yeah. I keep myself occupied. Okay, now we got it. Bam! I could see. All right, this is Marlene Motivates. This is inspiration and positivity. Right? Now we're gonna
Mhm.
are these she just did 120. Oh, that was a good one too. I like seeing my girlfriends from over there. Tell them I said hello. But
Okay.
if you definitely speak to kicking it with Karen, I miss her.
Okay. I will tell her. I think I talked to her on Instagram last month. So I will tell her.
I miss all our old, the first
I
set of
miss when
crew.
we used to go back in the day how it used to be all day from live to live to live.
I, and I used to, I think, I don't know, was it? No, it was, I used to always come on after kicking it with Karen.
Yeah.
No, you know who I miss too? Oh my goodness, she's the older lady, dark skin.
Oh, Val.
Mm, no.
Ooh.
Name a
CC
couple of,
Uncut.
huh?
CC Uncut.
No, I don't know if she had a channel or not,
Oh,
but she was a staple person.
yeah.
She had
A
a
lot of those
husband.
people get. A lot of those people gave up on YouTube when they changed the hours.
Changed what hours?
Because back, you remember back before, the hours was not 4,000.
When we came in at the 4,000, soon, right when they
Yep.
got there. Yeah, yeah. I think that, yeah. And even if they came in before that, the fact that when they changed it, they now their clocks they had to add more to their clock. So
Yep.
yeah, but at least they let you go, if I'm not mistaken. At least they let you do a community page now. You don't need 1,000 for a community page and all that. They let you have a community page now. I think at 100. So they
No,
they, they
I
went
I got my community page when I had 14 on my podcast.
now, right? But I'm talking about
Yep.
4 years ago. You had to have 1,000.
Oh yeah.
Remember when you had to have 1,000? Now you don't, right? Now this video, I can't stand her. She got the travel channel too, and she know we
Yep.
freezing, and she want to show us the beach and stuff. I be like, I will, I would love to see a show like if you like driving and just like stick your camera out and like show us like the old abandoned buildings and
Oh, you want
building.
to see that stuff?
Yeah, I want to see Florida, like old abandoned, and one of like what you call them type of buildings that you can't do nothing. What's the
The
name?
old historic buildings.
Historic. Just show us some historic,
Hmm.
whatever is in your area. Or sometimes
Okay.
take a chance and go out your area and like this is a historic. This is what was done there. Whatever. I would love to see that because
Okay.
us people, we don't see that. So I'm by a beach anyway. I'm 2 blocks from a beach, which I don't go to. I did a beach video thing. People like, I know you ain't really on. I'm like, yeah, okay. I gave y'all the beach now. Leave me alone. I'm literally 2 blocks from a beach.
Well, I'm still waiting to see those interviews again.
But I'm starting it now. That you're the first one.
No, I mean when you used to go on the street.
Oh, street talk.
Yeah.
Maybe when the weather
Yeah, when it gets
changes,
warmer.
and that's when I used to talk to like real dude. I was gonna do that back again, but do it in a. Oh, God dang it! Which one was you, the cat or the dog?
Uh-oh.
Ah, y'all didn't hear the thing. Y'all don't be hearing stuff. Just be
I
dropping
heard it.
it. That had to be the cat, cause I ain't hear nothing behind it. They sneak off real quick. The dog, I would hear him moving. That daggone cat. But this channel right here, dose of positivity. Stay motivated. I look at her trying to look all cute. You're gonna get a man with that picture, girl. You're gonna be. I guess I'll be coming down to Florida to a wedding looking like that, all relaxed and cute.
You're a mess.
Hey, things just come out of my mouth. But she has love channel members. I have to do a video like that too, which I'm going to do one for my members. I do
Mhm.
love all my members, and I want to do something special for you. And then um Monday motivation seize the day. Beautiful. Then she got the hyperthon. Be the best version of yourself. These are things that she does daily. She's going to let you know the times. I'm just reading the stuff out. Then after I finish, look at her looking so cute. I can't take this picture. This is cute overload. It's like make me really want to go to the beach just to take a picture like that. But I am not going to do it. I'm not going to be able to do it. All right. Then she has her playlist. Then she has wrote it. Yeah, that wrote it, girl. I
Girl.
send my cat there. I will send my cat there. My cat don't play.
Mm-mm-mm.
And then growing up as an immigrant child. And to one day we will do a show on that also because I have the best of both worlds. But
Mhm.
I realize it's this it's sometimes it's just the accent. They just have an accent, but it's technically this. They are the same, like far as like the strictness and the way they do certain things. It's the
Right.
same. It's like if you come from like a Caribbean island, if you live in the country, your country. If you live in the states, your country. If you live in the country, your country.
Yeah.
And they have this like it's the same exact thing that I just didn't like neither one of them. But like the Caribbean side, my Trini side is way more stricter. But I don't know if the accent makes it more stricter because a lot of things the American side they didn't play neither. So it was like, well, damn, it was like I just didn't get a breather at all. But in a sense, that that made me like certain things because of that strictness. It got so I absorbed so much. Certain things I don't play.
Yeah.
I don't.
I know that too because my mother's father, my grandfather was Cuban.
You
So
know, it's,
I got a little bit of I got a little mixed bag, I guess you could say.
yeah, but one day, yeah, we're gonna talk about the mixed bag of having like
Hmm.
a Caribbean parent and American parent, and then how this household is and how that household is. But then when I realized it's predominant, it's really the same. Their
I think it's
values,
all the same,
mhm,
predominantly the same
it's
if
just the
you have
accent.
black parents. Yeah.
Exactly. That's why I never explained to anybody like what I am. Because at the end of the day, for me, I'm like, it's the same damn thing. It's just one has an accent and one doesn't. Only difference
Hmm.
is that I've seen is just the food.
Yeah.
The food is the only difference. And boy, was it good to be blessed to have Southern grandparents. Because baby, I'm glad I was able to eat like my rice and peas and oxtails and things like that. And then I was also lucky to have that baked macaroni and cheese
Hmm.
and that southern food, baby. I had the cooking wise, I was blessed.
Yeah.
I was so
That
blessed.
was
I didn't
good.
want to cook none of it. I just wanted to eat it. So nobody got. I did not want to stand under nobody and watch how they did nothing. I know I'm not cooking. I'm just eating, right? but but again, guys, these are you got a decorate channel too.
Yes, Auntie, that's
Yeah.
new.
Now
That's
I gotta
new,
get me a
new.
guys. I'm coming with a whole new channel. She got one up on me. We will stay even, okay? I
That's
I
new, new.
I
That's
have
my
a
baby.
reaction channel, but I don't do the reaction channel no more because it's just, you got to keep fighting the copyright. So I got tired of
Yeah.
that. So I'm gonna figure out what I'm gonna do with that other channel. And it's
Well,
still, and it's still.
what if you do reactions to other, like we would react to each other's videos?
No, I'm talking about music. I got a music react because I'm so hooked
Oh,
on the
okay.
music reaction. I like to react like like on different er- eras and genres of music. That's
Right.
right. So now I'm like, oh, okay, I like this. Because them little young kids got me doing that. I love doing that, but the copyright strikes on that and it's crazy.
Hmm.
It's not like I mean, you can really, if you're good, get monetized and stuff really fast, but get monetized for what? You don't get nothing because everything is copyrighted. So,
Yeah. No point to it.
no, but it's certain channels, you just want, like my Sugar Babes channel, it's just a channel just to have.
Yes.
So, it's not every channel is not about being monetized. I mean, I don't mind 1,000 subscribers, but sometimes you want to be a little bit more free and have.
To do and say what you want to.
Right, even though you only can still do it to a certain degree, but I can put like a lot of our history on that channel where they're not going to monetize them videos anyway. But I'm not going to, so everything is not about being having monetized videos because I have a lot of Black history on the Sugar Babes. And one channel was taken, and then I made Sugar Babes up. As soon as they took that one, Sugar Babes was created,
Oh,
and that
Ewan said that's a good channel for you to market your album.
I sing on everything, baby. I sing on everything. Yes, I do. When I say I don't care what I'm talking about, a song always come to mind. I don't. Mm. But she has Marlene reviews. She has Life with Marlene. She has
Mm-hmm.
Marlene. She should have put the other name back. I missed that one. You should have kept that name.
What? That
The
one's
one
a
with
new one.
the life in it.
Oh, Life with Marlene?
I don't know if it's Life with Marlene. No, it's not. Your name. Your name wasn't in it. No,
Oh, I don't know
don't
because I have 5 channels, so I don't
don't
know.
make me go through my old videos, girl.
Yeah.
And no, matter of fact, I'm gonna go through my how I can find you. I go through my moderators. I come through. I come through all your names. Living your best life. I believe it was. That's what it was. You forgot that one, sis. Oh, she got me on mute. We have to
What'd you
love
say?
living your best life.
Well, living your best life changed to Marlene motivates.
Well, you got to bring back living your best life. I love that.
No, that's over.
You can still make a. You're gonna make a new one anyway. Bring that
I'm
name
gonna.
back.
You already know. I already told you from the beginning. From I started on YouTube, I'm gonna have 10 channels.
You didn't say that, so now I gotta have 11. Damn.
Yep. If you want to beat me, you gotta have 11.
I don't want to beat y'all. I just want to be inspired. Be inspired. Well, I don't want to beat you, but at least I could say we doing the damn thing. See, that's what a lot of people don't like to say the
Mhm.
word we. We doing the damn thing, you know,
Exactly.
and we're gonna be right there together.
Yeah, that's the thing that I love about uh how you treat everybody. From we met from the beginning. It wasn't always like, how like how it used to be back in the day. Oh, you once they got leveled up and did better, they left everybody behind that was there supporting them. They don't even go to them anymore. But we've never done
Mm-mm,
that to each other.
mm-mm. You know what? Yes, yes, yes. And I think that's what did I do? Okay. I think that's like I was like, and then a lot of people too who started out with growing channels. Once they got monetized, they changed over to what they really wanted to do. And it's
Yep.
like you had and some people used to have. I mean, remember it was a what was it? It was a Friday a grow. What was the name of the
It
grow
was
day?
a grow stream, and it used to have like about
The
150
trucker.
people on it. Yep.
It was the trucker. It was the lady. Whatever. I forgot what her name was. God dang
Yep.
it. I forgot what her name was. But it was the lady, the trucker, and there was two other guys. And
Yep.
then it was the other it was another one too. If Ms. Rod was up in here, she could name them. But
Mhm.
and that's but they don't know about that hustle, sis. They and a lot of
Mhm.
it's a shame that them channels are gone. But we on my sugar babes, I want to sort of kind of bring that back. But people don't want that. People don't have that hustle in them.
Well, they're not a hustle like me. That's how I in how long have I had this channel? Three months, and I already am almost to 300.
And even now with the sugar babes, why sugar is so low, sugar babes, because I had another one, right? And I told you, I don't know what they took the chat. Oh, this girl, that damn girl, got me some type of strike or something. I got, and they took the channel. 5 minutes later, came sugar.
Oh.
5 minutes later, hey, sugar babes, because this girl was on my thing and she couldn't say my name right. So instead of saying Sugar Love, she kept calling me Sugar Babes. I said that's gonna be the name of the channel. So that's where Sugar Babes come from. This girl calling
Oh,
me
I
Sugar Babes.
see.
The girl was calling me Sugar Babes by mistake. So I'm like, you know what? I like that. And when they took my channel, 5 minutes later, Sugar Babes was born, right? Because people get discouraged. Like if their channels get taken or whatever. But if you got that hustle, it's like, okay, have to do it again. Don't get discouraged when things happen to you, because sometimes things happen to you. It just shows you what you're made of. Like some people get like really depressed. And we're gonna have to probably do something on that too about not
Mm-hmm.
being discouraged, because some people go into like a real deep depression and stuff like that.
Yep.
And sometimes when things happen, it's just really to show you what you're made of. Like, all right, really, you know, and
Yep.
I'm not saying everybody is us, but if we could try to put some of us in them, you know,
Yep.
that go getter,
Yep.
go getter. And a lot of people, they complain, and some people, like I said, they don't want that. They don't have that hustle. They don't want the hustle, because some people been trying for years to get 1,000, and we show them, we tell them, and but
You give people the blueprint, but guess what? People aren't willing to do what you do. I wake up early. I stay
mm,
up late. You do what it takes until you make it happen.
girl, remember I used to do 10, 12 hour live. People think I'm like, I ain't seen what. I was a 12-hour
Mm-hmm.
live because there were only 5 people in there. I had to be in there all them hours just to get some watch time hours, please. And then
Mm-hmm.
that's when we came up with after that, that's when we came up with the playlist. But before we thought about all of that, we was putting them hours in.
Yep.
We were stop playing. But people, the problem is too, why people got a nasty taste in their mouth, because a lot of people like to be supported, but not support.
Yep.
So that breaks
That
the
is true.
so you can't. That's why I say, I can't keep sending, like, I mean, if you're not a content creator, of course go over there, but if you're a content creator, you can't expect for everybody to send people to you and you can't go to them. Now if it's and that was a one problem too. That's why I said, I always show people channel, so if you're interested in it, you'll go. Sometimes that channel is just not for you, and it's okay.
Yep.
It's okay.
Everything is not for everybody, but I agree with that because I used to do that, be in somebody's live for 4 or 5, sometimes it would be 7, 8 hours. You start with they were having breakfast and you stay till they were having dinner.
Yes, yes, yes.
And
And,
then they can't watch a 10-minute video. I was like, oh no, it's time to change things.
and that's one thing I've always do. Once, unless I go live or something, once I'm in, I stay in. It doesn't matter if I comment or don't comment, because sometimes, you know, people don't
You're
know.
busy.
But I still stay on, and it's because people don't realize, even though you have your watch hours, you got this thing called analytics. So I always tell
Hmm.
people, do not stop by and say hello to me, okay? Don't. Thank you for the thought, but you're messing up my analytics,
Hmm.
because they
It's
go
the
by.
people who come in and stay in, and people who are non-content creators don't understand that if people come in and they leave in 15 seconds, you messing me up.
No, that's the content creators that does that. Usually, when it's people who are not the content creators, they the ones that stay because they don't have a page. They really come to see you. The content
Right.
creators is the ones that will come. Well, I'm just coming by to say hi. Them are the content creators that does that. The
Yeah,
people
that's the content creators.
and then it comes just so they only letting you know I'm peeping in, so you come peeping. No, don't do that. And I always said that from the beginning. Don't do that. You're tearing people analytics up. Don't stop by and
Hmm.
say hello. If you want to at least
Or
stay
remember back
15
in the day
minutes.
when they used to have the thumbs down, they only come in to thumbs down your chat.
Oh, girl. But the thing is, at least stay 15 to 20 minutes. Go to bathroom, do whatever you have to do. It's okay. But at least give that golden 15 minutes. Because after 15 minutes anyway, the numbers go down even if you're in somebody's room. Every 15 minutes you have to at least say something. And once somebody says something, watch the numbers go back up.
Hmm.
So
All
at
of that
least
counts.
Right. So at least give, if you can't give somebody at least 15 minutes, do not stop by and say hello.
Yeah, I say
Don't,
that all the time.
mhm. Like if I'm in somebody's room, even if you don't see me, I'm still logged in and then I'll come back in and I make sure I stay in there. Hey Gary, you're late for class and we're almost finished, but we figure we're gonna mess up this interview. That should have just stayed the interview and give y'all some lessons. But we're gonna have more interviews. But I always gotta teach something. It's just I'm sorry. That's just me.
You're just naturally a teacher. That's all.
Thank you. You know, but but I just wanted to say that too. So if people come into your room, they'll know. Don't come in and say hello. Come in and you come in, you coming in, or don't.
And another thing that I learned about YouTube is it's important to put on your subscriber only mode when you're going live. I can show you how to do that if you don't
No,
know
I
how
know how
to.
to do that, but then I realized that I don't want the numbers to go up and then they unsubscribe right after, then it go up. That messes up your analytics too.
Oh, I didn't
Because
think
man,
about
the
that.
numbers going up, then it goes up just so people can say something. And then the minute,
Oh,
right, if somebody want to subscribe, they're going to subscribe anyway.
okay.
So you can say, hey, subscribe. Once you put that in, some people just may be burning just to say something. So they're going to subscribe just to say something. And then
And
after
then
that,
as soon as
so,
they leave,
right, you're not guaranteed that they're going to want to stay, and then the numbers drop, then your analytics go down on that behalf too. So I used to do that. That I'm like, I see them, then I started noticing the numbers going up and down. I'm like, oh, they unsubscribe, they unsubscribe. I said, you know what, forget about it. But some people, one lady had it where you had to wait 3 months. I'm like, child, you want?
what?
Yeah, it's there's time limits you could put on. You got 5 minutes on it. She changed that real quick. I think she did that by mistake. I don't know.
Well, I think it was to get rid of trolls.
It could be, but I know I'm not waiting 3 months to say something because you'll never know
I'm
I'm
not
in
waiting
there.
3 months.
And you'll never know I'm here supporting you. And then another thing I tell people, if you can't, that's why I started the replay game. That's another way of saying I'm watching your video.
Right.
So pick a time when you're not. Like, I make sure, like, if I'm not doing anything, let me check my sister out. Did she do a video? Then I'll sometimes, majority of the time, I'll say replay games. Sometimes I forget, and I make sure I'll watch it. So you have good video. I like your content. So it's not just out of support. I really like your content. So
Right.
I like to hear
Thank
what you have to say. It really makes my day. Hey, Angel, it really makes my day. And then it really, sometimes you give me things to think about, So I appreciate your content. It's not just for support. But I make sure, I still watch. So people do that too. They can, I can
it's
support
about the
it that
silent
way.
supporters too, because not everybody wants to say something.
Right. But come in and just watch the show and click like.
Yeah.
It's a lot of ways. If you like somebody, it's okay if the room is not full. It's okay because we know that we can expect for you, or hopefully, you're going to still watch the replay. Sometimes you're not available when we're live, but still, go check out the replay. That's what count is, the total count, and the count don't stop until it stops, because it never stops, because the video stays there forever. I mean, until they take your channel or something. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But that podcast is bumping, girl.
Yeah, I'm about to. I have two of my channels. They're very close to being monetized at the same time.
That's right, girl. So hopefully we can send you some more people over there.
Yes, send me some more people. I need some watch time.
Oh, we'll get to that. We'll talk about that on my Sugar Babes channel, and we're gonna see.
Awesome.
I'm gonna get people channels together, and whoever would like to come, and if it's just two people, then hey, then two people will grow. Like I said, they don't have that hustle no more. What they're doing now is doing beef channels to rise, and that's something that I'm not going to do. But
yeah.
And
they do that to rise, and then as soon as they get there, they switch to what they want to do.
Yeah, but then your subscribers go up, but your viewership go down, because that's what they came there for.
People don't want to see that.
Right. That's what they came there for.
Yep.
That's why, people, I tell people, don't be so hooked up on subscribers. Worry about your viewership.
Yep.
How do you bring people in? Not how do you get them to subscribe? How do you, because it, look at all the channels we subscribed to when we was on a growing day. We didn't know them, and we didn't and we didn't know them. We didn't know their content. We didn't know nothing. All we know, we saw 5 to 10 minutes and that was it. And then we got mad when we got purged. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and then you're like, what happened?
You want to bring them in. You want them to see you. Having a subscribe is beautiful, but we want to bring them in. But guys, I'm gonna let her finish up here. I may go live on the other channel. I may go live on the other side. On the other side. But I'm gonna let my sister Marlene finish up. Let her say, and then she want to say about her channel, her hours, her times, her days, and all that other stuff. Go ahead, sis.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, sis. Yeah, I have 5 YouTube channels. Sugar Love showed 2 of them. Marlene Motivates and the Marlene Saunders Show and Podcast. I also have a relaxation channel with relaxing sounds, Just Relax Now. And I also have my vlogging channel, Life with Marlene, where I vlog my Florida life. And I am enjoying this because since I started YouTube, I'm a very focused person. And I always have wanted 10 monetized channels, because for me that means 10 sources of income. And Sugar Love knows, but I love my coins. Okay, so I said I'm gonna do this, and I'm making it happen. So I just want to talk about, to wrap everything up, talking about, men and not trusting men in relationships. And most of the time that just happens just because of unresolved issues with yourself. You can't change the way a man is, but you can always change your reaction to it. You can either be bitter or you can become better in any situation. You don't have to accept whatever is given to you. You can choose to rise above whatever the standards, what society tells you, what your family tells you should be, and who you should have. You have to think for yourself as a woman, and if you identify it's toxic, it's you're with somebody who has mental illness, they're abusive, those are the people to run away from. You don't have to stay in a relationship if it's not good for you, because as women, we have a hard time saying we deserve better and we're worthy of better, and you deserve better because you're a wonderful human being. And we have to give ourselves that permission and pat ourselves on the back and tell ourselves, I can have the best relationship. And if I can't have the best relationship, it's better if I do ride this journey by myself. You don't have to have somebody. But also, if you're going to be with somebody, be there and have your mind right. Heal from what has happened to you in the past, and don't judge all men based on what has happened to you. Yeah, there are some good men out there, but don't just settle for a man that your family wants you to have or who other people think you should be with. Be with the person that you want to be with, because that's who you like, and they are fulfilling you and making you happy. And most of the time, as women, we don't give ourselves the permission to love the person we want to love. We love who our family says we should love, who society says that we should love. But we got to learn to trust. And that means going inside of ourselves. It means sometimes getting a therapist. It means seeking some help, getting a support group, and finding your own voice and finding the courage within yourself to say, as a woman, I deserve a good man, a man that I can trust, a man that will protect me, and speaking up and saying, if I can't get this, then I won't get anything at all, because I deserve the best, and because I am somebody. And whoever needs to hear this message, you are somebody, you are strong, you are courageous, and you are deserving of the best. So live to your highest potential. Thank you, Sugar Love.
You forgot your time, your days,
Oh, my days.
your days and your
So
time. How do we, we need to know what days. Did you forgot that part?
okay, so I go live on my Marlene Motivates channel. On Sundays, I have the Sunday talk show at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But I also go live at random, so make sure you turn on your notification bell. On my Marlene Reviews channel, where I do reviews, that's a live channel. I also didn't say I am a licensed esthetician, which I do skincare. And on my reviews channel, I usually go live and do reviews of my skincare products or products that I think is worthy of
The- wh-
of
When
purchasing.
you were supposed to do a live with me about that, young
Well,
lady.
I'm ready.
And we're gonna pick a day, let them know what that is and all, because we need to know how to take care of ourselves and our skin. That's oh my goodness. But go ahead. But I didn't mean to cut you off. But if I would have
That's okay.
forgot that, I would have forgot that. But we need to do one on the esthetician. I know I said it
Yeah,
wrong, but it sounds good.
that's okay. So I don't mind helping other people because that's another thing that I love. I love especially to see my Black people look good. We usually are only thinking about a roof over our head and having food and having a shelter, but there's more to our life. You should look good, take care of your skin and your teeth and all the parts of you, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. There's lots of levels to self-love. So on my Marlene Reviews channel, I talk about the skincare and what kind of diet you should have and what's good to use, blah blah blah, all of that. And I that's at random. I don't have a scheduled time to go live on that channel. I just pop up on there and say, yeah, I'm steaming my skin or I'm doing XYZ. Yeah, so that's that channel, Marlene Reviews. And I go live on my Life with Marlene channel, my vlog channel. And I have a um, Gem Spotlight, which I'm going to invite Sugar Love to come up on there, where I let everyone showcase their channel and talk about what they do over there. And I also do vlogs at least once to twice a week, depending on what I'm doing in my life. Because I don't know if I told you, Sugar Love, but I do my esthetician thing. But now your sister has gotten into real estate. So we could talk about that too.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna have you do one. And what you call it does. I don't know if he does real estate, but point blanks, I'm gonna have him do an interview too. Oh, on the next interview, she's gonna speak upon college and all that other. We're gonna have a pure beauty day. We're gonna have a beauty day. She's gonna probably do a beauty day over on her channel because you gotta see. People don't understand. She's a straight Aquarius, right? She never even had to tell me she was an Aquarius. I always knew she
Yes,
was
I'm
Aquarius.
straight aware, so I can't
And
lie.
like, because that hustle, I said, that's Aquarius hustle, right?
Yeah,
She said, how
it's
you know?
deep
I'm
for
like,
me. It's deep.
I was like, baby, I know. Because as I got to know her, I'm like, this lady does that. I knew she was air. I'm like, no, that's Aquarius. And then with the Leo here, we're sort of kind of, people don't understand your polar opposite is like the person, is that's the person that your polar opposite is really what completes you. So that's
Hmm.
why we always bang off each other. It's like we know what each other's gonna say, or whatever. We on this. They like to say polar opposite. I call it your partner sign. That's your partner sign. So
Right.
we complete each other. The polar opposite. That's what completes you. It's like whatever's missing in me. So now you get to see the powers together when me and her is together, right? So that's why we both have that hustle and we pull from each other.
Hmm.
So I listen to her. I mean, but what can I pull from Marlene? Because it's easy to pull from her because she's my polar opposite. So,
Yep.
but baby, I was like, damn, that is Aquarius to the T. I said, you Aquarius? She said, yeah. I said, girl, you was a walking, breathing. Everything is money, hustle, business.
Yes, I've been.
I said,
I
goodness
can't lie.
gracious.
I've been hustling since I was 5 years old.
Oh,
Yes,
goodness.
ma'am.
I said, That's the most that's what made me. I was like, I love her. I was like, because I have, I'm your counterpart. So, and I had to also learn that that's us. Like, that's not
Mm-hmm.
everybody. Because growing up, I was like, damn, I didn't realize everybody have their own energy. So I had to learn to stop
Mm-hmm.
getting mad. I had to learn how to stop getting mad at people because I had to realize that's my energy.
Right.
That's not your energy. So even though I can try, but it's in me, like it's in you. Like people might hear you
Yep.
say like 10 pages, like, oh, but it's in you. So, you know,
Yep.
I'm not gonna say, well, you should have 10 too. I'm just using it as an example.
No, I'm
No,
just
no, no.
saying at
I'm
the
just using it
state.
as no, no. I'm just using it as an example of we are who we are, and I had to realize people are not us. I'm talking about in my younger days. I used
Yes.
to get mad with people because I'm like, let's go, and I'm like, why you so like, why you don't want this and why you don't want that? Like, why you not working hard? Like, why you not finding 50 ways to get it done? Like, why you taking no for an answer? And I never could understand that when I was younger because I didn't realize
Yep.
that's me.
Mm-hmm.
They are not you.
Yep.
So
I
that was
I had to learn that too. That's also part of being the last child syndrome thing too. You always want people to level up like you, but it's just a thing about the young. It's a youngest child thing. Like you gotta do better. You like whatever you did yesterday.
that
You're like
part
I
is
gotta do
so
better than that.
true. Ooh, yes, that
Yeah.
also young. That is, oh, girl, yes, yes, yes. I can't wait
Hmm.
till we get into that. And
Yep.
if being that we the babies, if anybody, we're gonna do an open panel. So if anybody that's not a baby and you want to come up on a panel and tell us your experience on what
Hmm.
number you are and how it is like to be like a middle child or older child because we can't speak upon that. We can speak upon
Yep.
our siblings, but we can't
Hmm.
speak upon it. So we're going to definitely do that because I think that'd be a great way of us understanding each other too.
I think that would be a powerful one. Yeah.
So we're going to definitely do that. But I'm going to let my sister go because she took a lot of time out today. She did another phenomenal show, another phenomenal thing. Hopefully, you guys go see her over there. Let's get some numbers in there and let's meet some of her people. Well, they our people
Yes,
because
and I
we.
will.
Hold on, I
And
take
I
that back.
will.
That's technically our people because it ain't. I go back with them too.
Yep, you go
I,
back with them too.
I
So
go back with them. I
that's
go
your
back
people
with.
too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But they're beautiful people. They're beautiful people, you
Yep.
know. And you guys are beautiful people too. So beautiful. Everybody's gonna be beautiful over there. And then I'll pop up over there. She's gonna pop up over here. But that podcast. Oh my God, I can't wait to check it out. I can't wait to check out that I haven't checked out yet. But we're gonna end this. I thank you so much, sister. I appreciate you taking your time out. Again, you knocked it out the box. Thank you for your inspiration. Thank you for your motivation. Thank you for your kind words. And thank you for, all the words that can help somebody. Hopefully a young child is watching this or come across this and know that it's okay to be you.
Yes, exactly. Well,
And
thank you so much. I
don't say
enjoyed it.
bye. Say see you later. I hate that word bye.
Okay. See you later.
All right, sis. Thank you. I ain't got my kiss on this one. Out of the blue, I got kiss, but
Oh, you're gonna have to get something a different one.
I like that kiss. I be in love with him. Are you sure? He really blowing that kiss to
Yeah, I
me. What you
know.
got to talk about? That's one of my favorite movies, girl. Stop it. But you know what? I need to get that time clock thing. How do you get that?
Oh, I can show you how to get that, sis. I can send it to you.
Yeah, send it to me. So in the beginning, I can have. It don't have to be but the thing. So give people enough time to come up in there.
Yep.
Well,
No
just
problem. I can send it to you.
please send that to me. All right, guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you, smooches and mwah.
Bye.